What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for jumping into another video. My name is Josh and I am just your average Joe day trader. Hey guys, it is Friday morning, August 1st. What does that mean for us today, guys? August 1st is tariff deadline. There are several countries that are expected to have had their negotiations complete and done and back to the White House today. Waiting to see how that affects the news today, because obviously there's a lot of negative sentiment around the tariffs, around these negotiations, although at this point, most of it has been priced into the market already. And we've been seeing that as different news comes in. The news about China potentially extending to 90 days more. Also about Japan and about North Korea, South Korea, Brazil, that are working into these trade deals, these negotiations for tariffs. We're not seeing it swing the market as badly as it was on April 2nd, Liberation Day. But that's a good thing, right? Because we don't want to see the market fluctuate just so uncontrollably, where we have no idea what to be looking at, where to get in. But this video this morning is I wanted to share with you a little bit about what I see this morning. In my opinion, what am I going to do for the next several weeks, just to kind of understand my day trading journey and what I'm doing as a day trader. So first and foremost, you've probably already looked at the charts. If you haven't by now, you know that every night I go to bed, I look at the S&P 500. It's like I give it a kiss goodnight. Good night, S&P 500. See you in the morning. And then when I get up in the morning, whatever time it may be, I wake up and look at the S&P 500 to see what did it do through the overnight hours. Do we see a gap up, potentially showing that there's going to be some sort of a run in a positive direction for that day? Do I see a gap down, which shows potentially a bearish market that might actually pull down? Now, remember, I live in the S&P 500 because the S&P 500 is primarily where all the tech stocks live. NVIDIA, Palantir, APLD, BBAI, they all live within the S&P 500. They're all significantly affected. When the S&P 500 runs up, so do those stocks. When the S&P 500 runs down, so do those stocks. And maybe not all of them, but if you were to put the S&P 500, and there is an option on Webull, which is my normal day trading brokerage account. I do not sponsor. I'm not sponsored by them. I don't get anything for advertising them. I like to use Webull. They're a great trading application. I like the functionality. But one thing you can do, which I have on every one of my charts, and you can select it one time, and then it usually is on every chart that you have, but you can select the Versus tab at the top of your screen and have it compare every stock you look at to the S&P 500. Now, if you like the NASDAQ, if you like the Dow Jones, you can do that way also. If you want to follow something like APLD, Applied Digital, and compare it to NVIDIA, which is a strong runner and a strong catalyst for APLD, then you can do it that way. But you choose what you want to verse, and then it's going to put a line on your chart which shows you the direction of that stock, of that index. And I like it because when I see the S&P 500 start to turn, generally the stocks I love to trade in, APLD is the best example. I see APLD start to turn when the S&P starts to turn, whichever direction it may be. But here's the thing. You have to kind of understand that right now we're at a point where the market needs to breathe. We have been on all-time new highs almost every single day, every single week for the S&P 500. The S&P 500 crossed over that $640 range, and it was expected that when we hit the month of August, which is generally a down month, okay, hear me out, guys. August is generally a down month. If you're waking up this morning and you're seeing a lot of red, there's nothing specific that's happened right now. Okay, obviously you could say, well, maybe it's the tariffs, maybe it's all what's going on with Ukraine. There was some rumors yesterday about Ukraine invading Russia yesterday. I mean, there's all this crazy stuff going on. I don't know if that's true or not. I didn't even look at it. Generally speaking, August is a pullback month, okay, a reset month. The market, the S&P 500, does generally breathe in the month of August. And we're seeing that right now because the S&P 500 as it stands right now this morning, I believe was somewhere between $623 and $627. And that is showing a pullback, and it's going to continue, guys. So nothing's going on. Now, listen, if you have positions in the market and you're seeing your portfolio going red, you have two options, right? You can prepare yourself for that it's going to pull back. And then what happens when it pulls back? You have an opportunity, if you have powder on the side, to cost average down into several of those stocks and bring your cost per share down a little bit, or you just sit tight and wait. Okay. Normally, on a pullback like this, a naturally occurring pullback like this, the stock market reacts and responds when we get through August into September, usually October. It responds even stronger. And that's what we're looking to see. Okay. So don't panic. Don't panic sell. I know a lot of people want to sell everything really quick and get out of it, sometimes take those losses and run. Listen, I'm not saying not to do that. I'm not giving you financial advice at all. But me personally, I have several stocks right now that are running in the red. They're going to continue to run in the red. I'm not panicking, okay? Because I know the companies I'm in, they're good, strong, solid companies, good earnings, good results, good gross profit, okay? Earnings per share, everything is right. But the market's running down, so they're going to run down in stock value. Naturally occurring, it's going to happen. Now, I'm going to put a link in the description below that to share with you guys one thing that I love to use, and it doesn't have to be this time of year. I use it all year long, but basically it's a heat map chart. And this heat map chart shows me what sectors are hot right now, what's green, what's red. You can click into the sector and see what are the specific stocks or companies that are driving the sector red or driving the sector green. Money moves around the market, and that's the next thing I'm going to share with you. Money moves around the market. So while you may have felt like, oh my gosh, technology, AI, those sectors are on fire, and now it's running red, things are running down, what's going on? Well, the money's moving around the market, and there are reasons why the money moves around the market. And I'm also going to say, because some of you now are going, you're crazy talking about the tech sector dropping, right? No, it's coming down. It's coming back a little bit. There's a pullback. But the technology AI sector is in all year long, guys. All year long, it cranks. You just have to find which companies, which stocks, what's the buzz, what's social media talking about, which sucks to say is something that influences the market way it does. But it does. You know, what's pumping. There's a lot of stocks out there right now that are amazing opportunities to get in at a lower level to potentially make some money if you have the patience to hold them for a few weeks, 30 days, 60 days. And I know coming out of the average Joe day trader's mouth, you're shocked because this is all about how to make the best money you can in day trading. I'm still going to do that. I'm still going to do that in APLD, in NVTS, in Oklo, in SMCI. I mean, there's all kinds of stocks I'm going to make money in day trading. But if you're looking to make money and not in a sense of having to struggle with exit and entry point, maybe a 20 cent, 30 cent, 50 cent dollar per day, where you really want to see some volume and some account growth, then look at the tech stocks right now that are down. Okay, NVTS is a great example. APLD just had an incredible earnings result, an incredible run, but guess what? I personally have been buying puts since yesterday, and I don't do options that much, but I know clearly that APLD is going to come back. It's going to pull back a little bit. How far down, I don't know, but you know, I've got some puts with it coming back, and I'm already printing because you wake up this morning and it went from high $13. It's all the way down almost to $12, right? So it's coming back to where it was. And I also love to play earnings. And I know I'm bouncing all over the place here, but I love to play earnings. Guys, watch this video about earnings and how I play earnings, because you can make a lot of money. Very volatile, very risky, but you can make a lot of money playing earnings. Okay, now focus, Josh, focus. Let me get focused with you guys. Here's what I'm going to share with you. There's a few things you need to know about August. Okay, number one, retail. The retail sector is a great place to start looking, start charting, start trending, okay? Look at retail businesses as opportunities to make money for two reasons. One, back to school. Everybody's getting ready to go back to school shopping. They're going to have to go to the Walmarts, the Targets, CVS, you know, all the different big name brands to buy school supplies, okay? They're also going to have to buy clothes. You're going to have to buy school uniforms for those that go to schools that require a uniform. My son goes to a charter, you know, middle school that also is a elementary, middle, high school. And so my son wears uniforms. They don't get to pick and choose what they wear. They're required to wear specific clothes. I had to go the other day and I spent about $300 in new polo shirts and new pants, right? Because it's required. And although I would love to say, oh, just wear the same ones from last year, the kids are growing, so I can't do that. So $300. But here's the other thing you need to know about August. It's tax-free month in the state of Florida. I'm not sure what it is for your states. Even in the countries you're in, I'm sure you have some sort of a break or tax-free week or tax-free month or something when it comes to back to school buying, but it's on clothing and things for back to school. Okay, huge opportunity for businesses to make a lot more money because, listen, as a consumer, I'm going to save money. I don't have to pay tax on it. So I'm going to go shop during the tax-free month. And listen, it's not only going to be for back to school month. I'm going on vacation the first week of September. I'm taking the family clothing shopping for the cruise we're going on because it's tax-free, right? I used to live in New York, grew up in New York. We used to drive from New York to New Jersey to shop because there was no tax in New Jersey. So we used to cross the border into New Jersey and we'd go shopping. This is a great opportunity to buy clothing and things that are needed cheaper because of the tax-free. And you benefit from that in tax-free week and buying clothes and stuff that you need. The businesses benefit by it because they're getting credits back from the government for tax-free week, and they're not having to pay taxes based on what they're selling, okay? And then the stock market benefits because these companies are growing, they're stronger in their earnings, etc. So what happens to stock value? It goes up, guys. Number one. Number two, energy, oil, fuel. Take a look at those right now. August, September. They are great sectors to be looking at right now. Chart it, know your support and resistance levels. Go back a year and look at some of the examples of results from a year ago. But they are a great sector to get into, and for a couple reasons. Number one, here in the state of Florida where I live, even some other countries, you guys understand and know this is hurricane season, okay? Hurricane season, yes, you're right. It starts June 1st and it goes all the way to November 31st. But August, September, October are the peak months for hurricane activity. And because of that, two really cool things. One, it also affects the retail sector because you can buy batteries, you can buy radios, you can buy electronics and things tax-free. There's a specific week that is for tax-free time. So look that up in your area to find out if you have something like that. That helps retail. It also helps those companies that sell that type of technology. So you have that. But the bigger part is energy, fuel, and oil will be increased because of the fact that whenever there are hurricanes, threats of those types of natural disasters, those companies get more expensive. Fuel prices and oil prices tend to go up because of availability, and stock value increases. So take a look at the energy, oil, and gas sector as well. The last one for you guys to look at, and it's the go-to all the time, guys, is technology and AI. Okay? Continue to look at the technology AI sector. Right now, there have been so many pullbacks. NVIDIA, Palantir, okay? If you thought you missed the boat, you didn't. And this is my personal opinion. I have long-term holds in NVIDIA and Palantir, in Tesla, in Apple, in Google. Okay, those are in my long-term retirement portfolio. But right now, on the pullbacks, on the dips, is a great time to consider investing in some of those big companies that are not going anywhere. Okay, NVIDIA, one of the largest companies out there in the world for chips, AI technology, data set, okay, computing. There's a lot of stuff going on in NVIDIA world. Palantir, all right, tons and tons of things happening with Department of Defense and with the military. So there's great opportunities in that sector. And like I said, I live in that sector. I love that sector. So anyway, guys, just wanted to throw this video out there to you this morning. Don't panic sell. Don't freak out. Don't go running for the hills. Make educated decisions based on where you stand, based on your current positions. Maybe you guys do need to take a look at your entire portfolio and make some decisions based on specific stocks that you might have been holding for a long time that have the potential to drop more, to run down more. Okay. I am always the one who says you don't lose anything until you sell it. Okay, that's why I don't love options. I do play small options here and there when I see the clear path that the option potentially is going to generate, money for me. I don't play options that much because of the risk. I don't want to lose it all. But I do love buying and selling shares because when I buy shares, even if it drops by 50%, I still own the share, right? And the chance for recovery is a lot stronger in buying shares than in buying an option that has an expiration date, goes to zero, and you're done. So keep that in mind, guys, as stock traders, as investors. I know there's a lot of you that are options traders, and I think it's awesome. And I watch you guys make a ton of money, and it is incredible. But there's so much risk, and you guys know that. For you that are day traders, specifically shares, that consider options, just be careful. Listen, I'm right now paper trading options for myself personally, just kind of learn the flows, learn how it all works to maybe have a better understanding of it when I do want to make options plays. Like I shared with you, APLD, got some puts on APLD. It's going to continue to draw down a little bit. That's something that, in my opinion, is happening. Nvidia, Palantir, all those are running down right now. S&P 500 is running down right now. Okay, and so there are opportunities there to make money, but again, don't take that as gospel because I'm not an options trader. I'm just sharing based on my past experiences, what I see and what I see right now. Anyway, guys, be safe. Listen, don't trade money that you need to pay your car payment, your house payment, your HOA payment, to buy food, to put it on the table, to feed yourself, to feed your family, or that money that you use to go on date nights or movies or take the kids out to a water park, whatever it may be, guys. Don't trade that money. Okay, trade money you've put aside specifically for trading and understand your risk tolerance levels, understand where your risk tolerance is, okay, for when you get in and out of trades. Guys, it's been great to be here. Can't wait to continue to work forward with you. Let's get rich together. Josh out. Peace.